Forget it.
All right.
So what do you got? Music news.
Music news. All right. Chuck Berry had a very interesting performance on New Year's
There's
Eve.
been problems. I heard problems.
In Chicago. So he's doing his show in Chicago. Throughout the show, he's having trouble with remembering lyrics. He's just all over on guitar and stuff. At one point, they were doing requests, and someone said Maybelline, so they start doing Maybelline, and he forgot the words. He started singing the words for Around and Round.
Oh, is he okay?
So he's all over, and people are like, "What's going on?" He ended up collapsing on stage. They rushed him out, took him to the hospital. They say he's okay, but like I said, he collapsed on stage. The show ended.
No answers as to what it is?
No answers as to what it is. Everyone from his camp is saying that he's fine, he's home. They're not saying what was wrong, but they're saying that he's fine. And
well, we'll do some more research into that.
But they haven't canceled any of his upcoming dates.
Really?
So I don't know. I guess it might just be a one-off thing. But we hope that Chuck Berry is...
Chuck Berry is, in my opinion, the godfather of rock and roll guitar. A lot of people are credited with it. If you go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because Gibson's put up a lot of money, there's a Les Paul room. There should be a Chuck Berry room. I mean, modern guitar players, rock and roll guitar players, take more from Chuck Berry than they do from Les Paul.
They do.
Nothing from Les Paul.
Last summer...
You don't like me chiming in anymore?
No, I love when you chime in.
Go ahead.
I'm just excited for this next story.
What is it?
Last summer, we had the chance to hang out with Def Leppard.
Phil Collins, good friend of ours.
Yeah, they came to the store and everything. And
we'll see him in when we're warm in California. He'll probably be in the convertible with us.
It's super cool. Have fun. I'll be back here, hanging out with no one. Okay, so there's a Def Leppard cover band that is based out of Dallas, Texas. They are currently looking for a one-armed drummer.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they put an ad out. It's a handwritten ad. They are looking for a percussionist with no prosthetics, and he should have a flame retardant kit and stick. So I just want to throw that out there for all the one-armed drummers in Buffalo.
Is it serious or is it just a
this is serious. This is Pyromania. That's the name of the band. And they are 100% true accuracy to Def Leppard's live experience. They are not kidding.
I think that's in poor taste. That's terrible.
So find your one-armed drummer friends. And
their drummer. I mean, so first of all, that means they're going to spend the money like the band did on a drum kit that you can operate with your feet.
Apparently.
I mean, because Rick Allen went through a lot of things to be able to do that.
Still drum.
And actually, the band deserves a lot of credit, I think, too, because coming off the highest high point they ever had, he has that accident. The band waited for him to learn, how to drum again on a drum kit where the cymbals and toms are operated with his feet.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's in poor taste.
You think it's in poor taste?
I do.
I think they just want to be authentic.
I think it's a poor taste. Stick your arm in your shirt.
You know how sometimes I try to call you and you just don't answer?
A lot of times, most of the time.
You just ignore me.
I actually blocked your number for a while.
I drive past your house, every hour.
That's what drives me crazy.
By the way, was that a serious thing when you filed that restraining order last week?
Yeah, it was.
All right.
It was.
Well, apparently Joe Perry's doing the same thing to Steven Tyler.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Steven Tyler wants to get back into the studio in a couple months and start recording a new album. But for some reason, Joe Perry is not answering any calls, texts. He cannot get a hold of Steven Tyler cannot get a hold of Joe Perry, and he just cannot find him. He's giving him the silent treatment right now. I can't say this on the air, but here's a quote from Steven Tyler. He said, "We have to get together and put some blank together." He says, "That's all. We're all musicians, and what does this say for itself? We're peripheral visionaries. We don't see each other as often as we used to, but we should still be able to get together when needed."
One of the dumbest things that Steven Tyler ever did, obviously from the court of public opinion, is this American Idol thing.
Well, I think that's where Joe Perry, why he's doing this.
Well, and you've been following this story since the beginning, and Kid Rock
we
came
talked
out
about
a couple weeks ago and just lambasted him.
Yeah.
Or a couple months ago, actually. And I just think it really seems to be hurting him more than it's helping him, at least in the court of public. The classic rock guys seem to be laughing at him now.
Yeah, and it's almost like a joke. And, I mean, Joe Perry, he came out and he said stuff. And just recently he said, because they were saying, would you ever do something without Steven Tyler? And he said, if you find the right singer, there's no reason why you can't go entertain people.
Yeah.
So, very interesting story. He's getting
Once again, we were split on this decision on this. How do you feel about Steven Tyler doing that? He's a judge on American Idol now. In Alan Kroll's own words, don't let a door close, right?
That's right. There's an old story where this man about 80 years old was getting out of an elevator and the doors were closing, and all of a sudden this briefcase came out into his foot and he wiggled it open and he pushed it open and he goes, "That's a lesson to your son. Don't let any door ever close on you." And I said, "Wow, that was pretty intense."
But so how do you feel about Steven Tyler doing? Do you think that he's ruining his legacy? Do you think it's a door that's open and he's walked through?
I think it's going to help him. I think it's going to bring him up. I think he's going to be able to talk to people, and people will take him at another personal level where they get to see him another way they never did, other than performing, So
like if he does, and you know what, I agree with Alan. I know that you think that he shouldn't have done it, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of ridiculous.
And I agree with that too. I can see why people do. My opinion was, I mean, first of all, I care about music. I love music, and I think Steven Tyler's sick. I think he's got a really bad drug addiction problem. Mm-hmm. I think he fell down a couple years ago, and I really think the safest place for him to be is someplace where he's stationary, still in the public eye, where he can get therapy properly. And I'm sure that's what's going on behind the scenes. And if it's not, I hope it is, because I like Steven Tyler.
I shouldn't say that I don't think he should have done it because. But, it's a great opportunity and everything. But I do think he should have ran it over with the rest of the band.
Yeah, it seemed like they did.
Because they wanted to get together. They were trying to get into the studio, to get a new album together, get a new tour going. And he just, they found out that, he's contracted to go be on American Idol. So I think he should have just ran it by them first.
The thing is, too, there's always tension in that band.
Yeah.
Because actually, after the O2 Zeppelin concert, the concert at the O2,
yeah,
there were rumors that Steven Tyler was auditioning to be the lead singer of a reformed Zeppelin because Robert Plant bowed out.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, there's always been tension with those guys, and it's just, I think it's kind of what makes them who they are.
The other day, Robert Plant sort of shot down the idea that there would ever be another Zeppelin.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said, the quote, I believe, was, "Pretty soon I'm going to need help crossing streets." Or, So he's basically saying, it's done. He's not going to.
And I respect him for that, too. To just be able to say, look, I can't. And I'm paraphrasing his quote, but his reasoning was he can't do a rock and roll show like that anymore.
He can't.
I mean, he can't do it. So
you can't relive it, no.
And he just doesn't physically have the ability to do that anymore. I mean, I physically don't have the ability to do a lot of stuff that I did when I was 20. I can't blame a 60-year-old guy for not wanting to go out and make a fool of himself. A la Roger Daltrey. Oh, that was a bad thing to say.
He just got cancer.
Did he?
Things taken out of his throat.
Did he?
Yeah, last week he had precancerous things taken out of his throat.
The Who reunited, and they did that.
We watched the Super Bowl together.
Yeah. Oh. The concert for New York after 9/11, they were phenomenal. They did such a great job, and they should have just hung it up right then and just done their CSI thing or whatever, their theme music that's getting played, because their performance at the Super Bowl was just god-awful.
We were watching that together.
Awful.
Yeah, I was actually gagging up in my mouth.
Yeah.
The lights were cool. I'll give them that.
It was just a god-awful experience, I think. Okay, folks, we're at the end of another show. I want to thank Alan Kroll for coming down. Thank you very much, my friend. Always welcome.
If anybody has any music that they'd like to send in, man, they're more than welcome to give me a call at 716-553-9266 in regards to looking for new music for television or films. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, and Alan always has connections in that way. I want to thank Darlene and Brittany, who's here with him too, and obviously check out Brittany's show, The Brittany Equation, Channel 20, Friday nights at 10:30 p.m. SimplyBeEntertained.com if you're going to want to get a hold of them. I want to remind everybody too. Even House Printing's on board with us. If you do need anything, go to these guys. They're phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Did a great job for me. And if you're out there and you're looking to advertise, give us a call at 716-359-2513 if you want to advertise on the show. Next week, Big NAMM show.
I'm very excited to stay in Buffalo.
I'm leaving Wednesday morning, brother. And I'll be thinking about you.
Do you want me to drive you to the airport? How are you getting there?
I usually leave the car, but if you want to drive me to the airport, that's fine.
I'm going to drive you there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I kiss you goodbye?
Sure you can.
All right, cool.
I think that will break the restraining order, though, so maybe I better look into that with my lawyers.
Real quick, I know we're ending the show. Are you going through the screen thing? Or are you going through the full body screen? Are you going to let them see the...
Yeah, I don't care. If they want to see me naked,
rich package?
They're the twisted mental ones,
all right.
Not me.
All right.
Look at me. Honestly. And you want to know what? If I know that someone's not going to be able to blow me up on a plane, I'm all for it.
All right.
Wouldn't go through it?
No, I would too.
Do you travel a lot? Do you go through it? You have to go.
Absolutely.
Through it. Yeah. Do you care? Does it bother you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, we'll have to talk about this on another show. Once again, folks, we're at the end of another great show. Thank you for listening. Don't forget the NAMM experience next week. And remember, folks, if you heard it on the X.